Meghan Markle just got blocked, not unfollowed, not quietly iced out. We're talking full-on fashion industry exile. And it's not subtle. Balenciaga. Yes, that Balenciaga has slammed the door, locked it, and tossed the key into the Seine. Before you say that's dramatic, let me walk you through it. Picture this: Paris Fashion Week. Flashing lights, cameras everywhere, high fashion royalty all around. And there's Meghan, strutting in a look that didn't just resemble Balenciaga's latest collection, it mirrored it. Same cut, same tone, same attitude. Only it wasn't theirs, and that's the problem. Because in high fashion, imitation isn't flattery, it's war. Especially when you're dealing with a brand like Balenciaga, a house that thrives on shock value, exclusivity, and originality. They don't just design clothes, they shape narratives. And when Meghan copied that narrative without permission, she broke one of fashion's most sacred silent rules. That single move triggered a domino effect no PR team could fix. Sources inside the Paris scene started talking, fast. Not just about the dress, but about a growing unease with Meghan herself. They say she's unpredictable, trying too hard to rejoin the elite circle she once walked away from. And most dangerously, that she's not just inspired by fashion, she's replicating it. See, the inner sanctums of luxury fashion aren't just about clothes, those private fittings. They're creative vaults. Celebs don't just try on outfits. They see unreleased designs, mood boards, sketches. That's trust access. And once that trust is broken, you're done. That's where Meghan is now, quietly but effectively erased. Her name scrubbed off guest lists, calls ignored, former stylists backing off, whispers turning into industry policy. Do not invite her. Because to them, Meghan isn't a muse anymore. She's a marketing risk. One stylist reportedly said she asks for exclusivity before she's earned it. Ouch. That's code for she wants the perks without playing the game. And in fashion, the game is everything. Let's be real, this didn't come out of nowhere. Meghan's fashion reputation has always been rocky. Every time she tries for a high fashion moment, it somehow backfires. Either it feels forced or it stirs up drama. And this Balenciaga incident didn't just stir the pot, it spilled it all over the table. Insiders say she even tried to build connections through back channels, third-party stylists, friendly PRs. But once the brand realized how closely her look mirrored their work, those back doors slammed shut. And then came the unspoken blacklist. Yes, fashion has won. No, it's not public. But when it hits, you feel it. Invitations stop, glam teams disappear. You go from front row to nowhere, fast. And that's exactly where Meghan's heading. What's wild? This wasn't even a red carpet moment. It should have been just another stylish appearance, but instead, it exposed how fragile her position in fashion really is. One copied outfit, one viral comparison. That's all it took for Balenciaga to say, "You're out." And the brutal part, this isn't just about one brand. When a powerhouse like Balenciaga makes a move, others, Dior, Givenchy, Louis Vuitton, they notice, they watch who's being excluded. Because luxury fashion doesn't just sell clothes, it sells control. And they don't hand that control to someone they can't predict. Meghan wanted to reintroduce herself to high fashion. Instead, she walked right into a trap, one she set herself. And the fallout? It's not over. The fashion world doesn't send warning emails, it sends signals. And right now, every signal aimed at Meghan Markle is blinking red. PR firms are distancing themselves. Stylists who once called her a dream client are suddenly unavailable. Even event photographers are catching on. She's not being framed the same way anymore. Literally, she's gone from centerpiece to cropped out. But what's fueling this quiet exile isn't just the copied look, it's the suspicion. The fashion world survives on mutual protection. Designers open their studios to stars, trusting that what's seen inside stays inside. But people are whispering that Meghan blurred those lines, that her team has been reverse engineering designs behind the scenes, taking inspiration from private previews, hiring local designers to recreate them, and flaunting them without credit. And that accusation, whether true or not, is enough to freeze someone out completely. Because in luxury fashion, it's not just about image, it's about intellectual property. And when someone threatens that, even by association, doors don't just close, they slam. Insiders say the final straw was how confidently Meghan wore that imitation piece, like she belonged, like Balenciaga would be flattered. But they weren't. To them, it screamed entitlement. One Paris-based creative director reportedly said, "She acts like access is a right, not a privilege." And that stung, because in fashion, access is everything. Then came the speculation, was this all part of a bigger plan? Is Meghan using fashion not as art, but as a stepping stone for her own brand? There's talk, whispers that she's been eyeing her own fashion label, leveraging the styles she's absorbed from these luxury rooms. If that's true, then her sudden love for high fashion wasn't admiration, it was reconnaissance. And that theory has spread from Milan to New York to Paris. Fashion insiders aren't just offended, they feel used. One editor said it best, she's not building a relationship with fashion, she's harvesting from it. That's why this isn't being brushed aside. Designers are stepping back, brands are pulling invites, stylists are staying silent. And then there's the Balenciaga effect. Let's not forget, this is a brand still recovering from its own PR disasters. The last thing they need is a controversy tied to design theft. They've been working overtime to rebuild their reputation. So when Meghan's outfit went viral for looking like theirs, it wasn't just annoying, it was threatening. And what made it worse? She didn't just show up, she posed like she owned it. Photos surfaced of her laughing, carefree, even smirking when a model tripped. That moment, caught on camera, made her look oblivious to fashion's deep etiquette, like someone crashing a dinner party and then insulting the host. From then on, the whispers turned into strategy. Stylists declined her team's calls. Brands flagged her name on access lists. Some PR firms even added new clauses. Do not share unreleased designs with non-collaborative talent. Translation: keep Meghan out. And this isn't just about the present, it's about the long game. The luxury world doesn't forget. Once you're seen as a liability, your reputation is marked. Other celebrities start to avoid you, not because they agree, but because they don't want the association. That kind of fallout spreads fast. Meghan's biggest weapon, her image, is starting to work against her. Fashion thrives on fantasy, mystique, exclusivity, but Meghan's become loud, exposed, predictable. Every move analyzed, every outfit dissected, every motive questioned. And in a space that worships subtlety, that kind of noise, it's career killing. She's not just off the guest list now, she's the reason people double-check who's on it. Behind fashion's velvet curtains, the damage was already done. Meghan Markle had crossed an invisible line, one you don't come back from easily. Balenciaga's quiet rejection wasn't just personal, it was symbolic. They didn't issue a statement. They didn't need to. In fashion, silence cuts deeper than any press release. Her name just stopped appearing. Seating charts, fitting schedules, coordination emails, gone. And while her team tried spinning it with words linking independent and inspired by the future, insiders weren't buying it. They weren't looking at what she wore anymore. They were asking why. Was it homage? Was it strategy? Or was it a calculated move to bait fashion houses? So she could reinvent herself as an anti-establishment style icon? If that was the plan, it backfired. Spectacularly. Houses like Dior and Givenchy began tightening access. PR managers declined to comment. No one wanted to be the next brand dragged into an originality scandal. As one Milan designer said bluntly, it's not that she wore the wrong dress, it's that she wore the right one, without permission. Even her longtime fashion allies started to pull back. Once glowing columns about her style evolution grew cautious. Nobody dared call her a trendsetter anymore. Because in fashion, trust is the thread that holds everything together. And when that thread snaps, so does the illusion. There's something deeper here too, something beyond clothes. Meghan's rise was once about disruption, rewriting the rules. But in fashion, rewriting doesn't mean ignoring them. It means understanding them so well that your rebellion still feels like respect. That's where she miscalculated. She tried to project power by mimicking powerful brands, forgetting that in these circles, power isn't borrowed, it's bestowed. You don't earn it by looking the part. You earn it by earning trust, quietly, consistently, without spectacle. So where does that leave her now? There are whispers she'll try launching her own label, maybe sustainable, maybe personal. But the timing couldn't be worse, because if she does it now, the narrative writes itself. She stole, she launched, she profited. Even if that's unfair, perception will crush the brand before it begins. The only real move left? Silence. Not her usual curated silence, the podcast and photo op kind. Real silence. Time out of the spotlight. A reset. Not because she's been canceled, but because she's been muted. And there's a difference. Canceled people still make noise. Muted ones fade away. The truth is, Meghan Markle had everything to own the fashion game. The face, the posture, the story, the legacy. But fashion doesn't care about legacy. It cares about aura. And right now, hers feels disrupted, disconnected, and most damning of all, manufactured. She wanted to be the next royal-turned-style icon. Instead, she's become the cautionary tale whispered about in design studios and pre-show prep rooms, the muse that never was. In a world where your look opens doors before you even speak, Meghan's style started talking too loud too soon, without permission. And now, the industry's responding in its favorite language, complete and total silence.